Imagine your family earns in rupees, but almost everything you need, your phone, your petrol, even your cooking gas, has to be bought in dollars. If the dollars get more expensive, your salary stays the same, but your life suddenly costs 20% more. That is exactly what is happening to India right now. The government is trying to save fuel, but they aren't telling you the math behind. Why are we in this mess? Here is the first problem. India doesn't produce enough of its oil. We import nearly 90% of what we use. Most of our oil comes through this tiny strip of water called the Strait of Hormuz. Right now, because of the conflict in Middle East, that route has become risky. Oil prices rise the moment the world fears disruption. And because oil is bought in dollars, India has to spend a massive amount of foreign currency just to keep the country running. The government isn't just asking you to carpool and to be green. They are asking because every liter of petrol burnt means more dollars leaving India's pocket. India keeps a giant saving of account of dollars called the forex reserves. Think of it like an emergency bucket. When the rupee falls too fast, the government and the Reserve Bank use dollars from this bucket to slow the fall and stabilize the currency. But the bucket is leaking fast. And here is the deeper problem most people never see. India is not just losing dollars because of oil. We are losing dollars because we import too much of high value products we depend on every day. Our trade deficit with China alone has crossed more than $100 billion. We proudly say made in India, but in many industries we are mostly assembling imported parts. The chips, the screens, the batteries, chemicals and machinery still come from outside India. Even when you buy an Indian made smartphone, a huge share of the money eventually leaves India to pay for imported components. That creates what economists call a value gap. We do the assembly work, but the high profit technology and manufacturing stay abroad. And to be clear, India does export a lot. Medicine, software, rice, textile and engineering goods bring important money to the country. But we still buy more expensive things from other countries than we sell to them. Oil, electronics, machinery, chips and gold cost India a huge amount of dollars. That gap keeps pressure on the rupee and keeps the forex bucket leaking. When the government tells you don't travel abroad or don't buy gold, they are trying to plug the holes in the bucket. But here's the truth. These are temporary bandages. The real issue is that India still depends heavily on imports for energy, electronics and industrial manufacturing. People ask, is this just a bad luck? Partially, yes. But we have also had years to prepare. Energy. We knew India has heavily dependent on foreign oil. If more solar, nuclear, battery storage and green hydrogen infrastructure had been built earlier, global oil shocks would hurt us less today. Gold. Indians love gold, but the gold is imported in dollars. The government introduced digital gold and gold bonds, but the physical gold demand is still massive. Every year, billions of dollars leave India just to buy gold from abroad. Manufacturing. For years, India focused more on assembly than deep manufacturing. A strong currency is built by exporting high-value products to the world. Countries like China don't just assemble phones. They make the batteries, chips, displays, chemicals and industrial manufacturing themselves. That means more money stays inside their economy instead of flowing out. India still imports a massive amount of electronics, chemicals and industrial machinery and semiconductor components. Until we build those industries locally, the rupee will remain vulnerable every time global trade gets disrupted. Here is how all of this hits you personally. Because the rupee is weak, the Reserve Bank has to keep interest rates higher to stop the currency from falling even faster. That means your home loan EMI, car loan EMI and business loan stays expensive. You are quietly paying what feels like a rupee tax every month. And here's another hidden effect. When India imports more than it exports, the country constantly needs more dollar. A weak rupee makes imports more expensive. Fuel, electronics, machineries, fertilizers, and that pushes inflation even higher. So the cycle continues. Weak rupee, expensive massive imports, inflation, high interest rate, slower growth. The government wants people to have faith, but faith alone does not reduce EMIs or fuel prices. The real question is, why is our economy still so vulnerable that a conflict thousands of kilometers away can shake our currency this badly? It's easy to blame the global factors, but a strong country is the one that doesn't shake every time the Middle East sneezes. Don't just follow slogans, look at the data. Ask why we are still so dependent.